and see anything, right? Hey. Okay, so we're an hour 33 in. I already passed Phantom Ranch, and now I have 13 miles uphill to the North Rim. It's a slow drag uphill. I didn't grab water at Phantom Ranch, so let's hope I don't regret that decision. Yeah, so far legs feel pretty good. The downhill of South Kebab is demanding. There's big steps, very steep. Okay, catch up later. Update number 2. Oh. Update number 2. Already stopped at Cottonwood. Right now I'm 10 minutes behind 10 hours elapsed time, so moving is a little less. Yeah, I'm feeling this is gonna be a long drag, and filling up the Camelback was definitely not easy. Okay, that's it. A few more miles to go. Okay, almost to the top of the North Rim, and this is so steep. Like this steps really hard. But the view is beautiful. Legs still feel okay. So I think I'm right on schedule now for 10 hours elapsed time. So we'll see. Here it is. Top. Okay, there's water there. This is the top of the trail. That was fucking... Yeah. So, feeling pretty tired, but I think I'll make it now. I have 3 minutes ahead of 10-hour elapsed time pace. So, see how that goes. So we just went by Cottonwood. We have 6 hours and 15 elapsed time, 45k. I don't know how many miles that is, like 20 something, 28. Yeah, so I just finished the downhill of the North Rim, which I think it's gonna be, it was probably the most challenging descent because it's steep, it's long, and you're just hitting the brakes all the time. So I'm now just trying to recover my quads, walking a little bit, but the view is great. Right? Okay. I have 25k to go, so that's 14 miles. Let's see how that goes. The at Phantom Ranch, and like 7:47 in. I don't think I have 15k to go, and I don't think I'll make under 10. I'm just so tired. Let's see. So I just leaving Phantom Ranch for the second time, and I have 7 hours and 40 minutes, and I basically have 9 miles to go up Bright Angel. I think if I went through if I went through South Kebab, I would only have like 6 miles to go, but it would be steeper. In Indian, our Bright Angel has more water stops, so I'll do that. In the meantime, I'm dying. I have 56k in. I just want this to be done. Okay, touch base later. Yeah, this is pretty. Okay, so 1.5 miles to go, and this is just so steep. Like this final 5k are like 13, 14, 18%. The view is pretty. Okay, arriving at the top. This was by far the hardest thing I've ever done. This final 3 miles. Oh my god. I should have done the short route, the South Kebab one. Kebab one. So tired. I'm hurting really bad. Anyways, made it. Hi guys, I'm incredibly happy to share with you that Rim to Rim to Rim is done. Today I'm gonna go over a little recap of how the day went and share with you some of the tips that I wish I knew before this big challenge. For those of you that follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you already know that it took me roughly 10 hours and 9 minutes of moving time to complete the 71k or 45 miles.
If you do not follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you should. My goal was to complete the whole thing in less than 10 hours. I was almost there, but not quite. And although 9 minutes sound like so little, at the time I just did not have in me to go any faster. In hindsight, I think I could have shaved those 9 minutes somewhere, but we can all do great things in hindsight, right? On Saturday, it turned out to be 16 of us ready to go. It was a diverse group of people with different skills and abilities, but everyone got out of the canyon walking and talking. So overall, I think this was a successful day, especially because it was a very hot day even for September. And it's fall, but it's still pretty warm down there. We started at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. And I must say that the first challenge was finding the starting point of the trail. At 4:30 a.m. in the middle of the Grand Canyon, pitch black, finding the South Kaibab trailhead is not exactly a smooth feature. There aren't any signs, and at that hour, no one's night vision was quite on. But I mean, we got there. Keep in mind that if you're planning to do this route, the entrance of South Kaibab trailhead and the exit of Bright Angel are roughly 3 miles apart from each other. So you need to either leave the car parked at either of the locations, although I'm not sure if you can park at South Kaibab, or find your way to the South Kaibab entrance, and then obviously find your car at the end of Bright Angel. I know that starting at 4:30 a.m. sounds very early, but this early start gives you a couple of cool hours until the sun is up, and also, maybe above all, prevents you from getting trapped or stuck behind the mule train. The mule train, for those that don't know, is basically just a set of lots of mules that carry supplies down to Phantom Ranch. Phantom Ranch is that small village down in the canyon, and there aren't really any roads, so the mules go down South Kaibab every morning at first light, which means if you do this in September, this means around 5:30 a.m. And it meant for us 5:30 a.m. So we had to start before that. We started running down South Kaibab, and we started pretty much as a group. Going down, it was quite an experience, at least for me. I don't know if everyone felt the same. It was very dark. The Grand Canyon has very little lights on purpose, so it kind of just doesn't ruin the environment of being in the great outdoors. Surely we did have our bright headlamps, but in the grand scheme of things, we were just basically small dots, tiny little dots of lights here and there, and easily confused with stars in the sky, so you really don't see that much. There was also complete silence, no sound other than your own breathing and a quiet breeze echoing in the canyon. And although I wouldn't consider this to be a dangerous trail run or a dangerous trail, that echoing breeze going by the canyon walls really makes you feel how far down the cliff next to you goes. And honestly, everyone knows it's a big cliff. I'm a confessed city boy, so it was quite a little bit of a twilight zone for me. Past this experience, with no wildlife sighting other than some sounds, I did get to the river before sunrise, and it was feeling quite well. I don't know if everyone does this, but I like to divide these big challenges into small stages, so I can tick boxes in my head as the day go by. So getting to the river was my first mental stage 1, and that was done. Next one was going up and down the North Rim. Even in the dark, the trailhead is really well marked, so at least you always know where to go and little navigation is needed. From the river to the top of the North Rim, you have roughly 14 miles of gradual uphill, and then you have those same 14 miles going down. I got to the top of the North Rim in about 4 hours and change, and I was feeling quite happy with myself, something that would quickly change as I made my way back the canyon again. And that's because what really takes a huge toll on these challenges is going downhill. Going downhill sounds fun, and it is fun if you do it for just a little bit. 14 miles of downhill means inflicting a lot of braking force to the legs. Halfway down, I started to feel that I may have overpaced the first half of the challenge, just a little bit. I got to Phantom Ranch the second time around, and the second time around I just took my time. Roughly 40 minutes, if not more, of thinking about life and swiping through all those deep thoughts we all have when there is still a 9-mile climb ahead and the legs are just not there, starting to cramp. At that point, I only had two options: either exit the canyon by foot or by chopper. Temperatures by now had skyrocketed to 100 Fahrenheit, and so the airlifting action also started to happen in front of me, with some of adventurers or other hikers on the trail. None from my group, thankfully. At Phantom Ranch, I did get M&Ms and Oreos, something I after and quickly realized it was a wrong decision. I had planned my fueling with sports drinks, mostly power gels and power bar sports drink, and I strongly believe that I should have stick to that. But after the M&Ms, things really got worse. Both M&Ms and Oreos are high on carbs, but they don't have the rest of electrolytes that you need, and the source of sugar is also not the best. So note to self, stick to a nutrition plan that I do ahead of time when my brain is working at 100%. But if going down the canyon is optional, going up is not so much. So climbing Bright Angel was the only way to go out. Just a quick note to say that I chose this route, so South Cape Out down and Bright Angel up, because although it's a little longer to go up Bright Angel is also less steep than South Cape up. And really well populated with tourists and park rangers for those last 3 miles. Being the end of exceptionally long day, I wanted the way out to be the safest possible. I'm not gonna lie, going up Bright Angel was still hard. Truth be said that before this I had never done anything more than a 30-mile run. So Ironman races, while they're also very long days, they aren't all done on your feet. So I was really feeling the pain of running 14 miles or 45 miles. Cramp and leg stiffness became to be a real thing. But I mean, I got it done, and at the end I was quite happy to see the finish the trail, even if it was a little longer than expected. The purpose of Rim to Rim to Rim for me was to just have a challenge, and boy did I find one, and did I get one. So, final tips. Choice of shoes. Do you really need trail shoes? If you're just walking the rim to rim to rim, you can get away with regular running shoes. However, if you plan on running parts of it, I recommend trail shoes to give you the little traction and grip, which ultimately saves you energy. You're just more efficient running with trail shoes. And overall, it just helps you with not overloading your stability muscles. So if you have trail shoes, use them. Walking poles. If you have them, take them. Especially at the end, it really helps to have that extra support and just unload a little bit your quads going up the final sections of Bright Angel in this case. I did not have them, so I didn't bought them for this, but there were really a lot of moments out there on the final sections where I really wish I had them. Long runs. On my case, I prepared to rim to rim to rim while still keeping my regular triathlon training. So although I did run a little more than I would normally do, sometimes even 2 or 3 times a day, I never ran more than 20 miles at each time. Because rim to rim to rim is such a long day on your feet, I would recommend doing so. So doing longer runs than 20 miles, if you can, obviously. Include some of these longer run mileages, maybe once or twice a week, just to get your lower body used to those long hours. Hydration vest. This tip might sound somewhat silly, but it is important, and I quickly realized that. For rim to rim to rim, I wore my hydration vest and had a 2-liter bladder. And I plan to sip sports drink every so often via the little straw that it comes sticking out of it. And I did stick to it. However, after a while, I realized that the fluid level in my hydration bladder was not lowering as fast as I expected. I realized late in the game that while in the sports bottle, you can easily see right away how much you're actually drinking on each sip. That doesn't really apply to the system of a bladder and a straw. And although I was sipping constantly, the intake of fluid was much less than I would normally take on an intake of a sip through a normal sports water bottle. I really only did this math when I got to Phantom Ranch the second time. So I was already 6 hours in, and so by then, I mean, the damage was already done. I did not drink enough. At the end of the day, I managed to get 8 liters of fluids or of sports drink in, and basically 5,000 calories of gels and bars and M&Ms and Oreos. And I think on the carbohydrate I was fine, but fluid was a little low. So plan to carry and drink over 10 liters of fluid during this day. Finally, I would like to address just a common comparison that I've seen over the internet, which is basically comparing rim to rim to rim to Ironman. Having done both, and I've done 32 Ironmans right now, they're obviously both demanding, but they take the toll in different ways. Overall fatigue in Ironman takes the price. I think the week after Ironman, you may not even be that sore, but your readiness level is usually low, and you just feel like you could sleep for days on end. However, regarding soreness of legs, I think kudos to rim to rim to rim. Today is day 3 after it, and I'm still not walking at 100% normal. The impact of 10 hours or 45 miles on your lower body should not be underestimated. So your legs will hurt the following days after rim to rim to rim. And if you can take some time off, that would probably be the ways this time off work, that is. And that's all. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you on my next video. Thanks, guys.